Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Let's start because we start at 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock?
It's 9 o'clock, yeah.
How are you guys?
Good?
Good, how are you?
Great.
So let's start. Today in this working group, we want to focus on how to position and market the offer, which we planned last time, is right?
I had a problem with getting my branding exercise done.
Why?
Too many things running around. I didn't know what to focus on because now I've switched my product, right? So it's not something you can do in a couple hours. It's something that
It takes time.
Yeah, so to me to have it ready for today was like,
Okay?
it was just too aggressive.
No problem. No problem. So before we start and describe how you can market your product or your offer, we need first to work out on a summary of the offer. So I will pass over some of the paperwork we did before. And let's figure out, it will be a working session, so you guys will work, I'll not do the work. And then we will go in the second half and we will talk about how we can position and how we can make landing pages, whatever, for this product, okay? So we start first with these product sheets. And I will explain briefly for the newcomers, the visitors, what we are doing here.
Welcome to the club. This is my friend Danny.
Yeah, I know. I saw his photo. When he told me about him, I saw his photo, so I know of him. He's a cool, good-looking guy. That's all what I can tell.
Thank you.
Okay, so just to summarize, this sheet will be read as one sheet. So it's not, you don't fold it, okay? So just to summarize the idea before what we were talking about, we basically have an offer. So this is supposed to be the offer which we sell as a program. So this is the core offer. This is where it doesn't need to be the most expensive things I can do in my program. So I mentioned two words for people who are not here before. I mentioned an offer and also I mentioned a program. So these are not alternative words. These are distinctive words describe something. So what is your offer that you will be able to sell to many people, or the offer which is the highest value? So I at Win Your Brand, what's your brand selling? Is selling a training package of 1 year to 2 years. These working groups and workshops and seminars and stuff we do are either part of this training package or are lead magnet to attract people to our training package. That's it. So you must have a description for this offer. Okay? So I know Kevin will say you want a leadership for kids. Good luck to him. What's your offer? Are there training? Are there workshops? Like there are individuals here who will have workshop on change leadership, change management. There are individuals who will have an online package they sell, online tools they are building to sell. There are individuals who have advanced workshop or a workshop for people to come. So you must focus on one offer. Nothing will prevent you from having an upselling. So if, for example, usually the upsell will be one-on-one somewhere. And this is the other activities or the other offers which you do to lead people through this offer. Okay? Everybody else around the table have been gone through this material so many times. So just I'm trying to review it for them, and they will be able to summarize in these pink sheets what are the benefits of this particular product. For each one of these products or activities, they must have a value for somebody to come to attend to it. To give you an example, today for you guys, as two new guys coming in, today you will be able to practice how you can position an offer and explain it outside within 6 hours. Sorry, 3 hours. That's right. And you will walk away with all values because the way you design your offers, they must be independent. They cannot be related to others because people, when they come and they don't get the whole value of what the today function or activity, they will not buy the other offers. They will get confused. For everybody else around the table, they will summarize the activities we have in the month and a half to launch a product inside this sheet. So they'll be a little bit ahead. So we are focusing on the offer. One of the activities which we'll talk about it coming Monday will be the seminar or the webinar to invite people to buy this offer. Today we will focus on how to make landing pages or marketing material. What are the structures? What are the titles of it? And we have somebody also expert in website and landing pages. So I'm here to share. I'm not here to comment. So anyone can share what are these. So people who do have access to people who build their website and landing pages, they can use the material. People who are like me, they like to get their hands dirty. They can do it themselves with help. Okay? So the first part we want to have, if you can fill this form which describe your product sheet. So you can please fill in the form. I have more forms if you want to keep a blank one. There are pens here I can get more pens if you guys don't have pens.
Sure.
I can get you more. Just,
Huh?
There's another one.
Oh, I thought you needed one too. Good.
okay. So just to summarize again, when we talk about this product benefits, we have to distinguish two things. What are the benefits and versus the features? Are you clear on the benefits versus features?
Benefits versus features?
Yes.
What's your product?
I'm a personal trainer.
Okay.
Yeah, so my product is obviously training services.
So what's the benefit of me wanting to work with you?
Well, you're going to live a healthier lifestyle, and then also you're going to get into better shape. So you're going to feel better, you're going to have more energy. Also, you can either lose weight, you can gain some lean muscle. Depends on what your goals are.
Okay. So lose weight and gain lean muscles are features.
Okay.
Are not benefits. Okay. I may look.
Really?
And this is where the discussion we have around the table. And we are not here to brainwash or change anybody's mindset.
Right.
We just here articulate and discuss and like reiterate on different ideas
Of course.
in a different context. And then you will find yourself forcing your mind to follow our rule. Because
Okay.
if you are not stubborn, if you are not stubborn enough. Anyway, so we categorize the benefits around 4 categories. And the way we categorize the benefits around these 4 categories is to help you focus how you can articulate. So the first category is time. The second one is dollars. The third one is relationship. And the fourth one is process. These are the 4 triggers people will buy anything for any reason.
What's the first one?
Time. So if you can get me, and there are different material we can share, talk about where's the roots of this classification. But just if I want to get you into financial services, I will help you make more money. That's right. Faster and more efficient, because the process is very simple. That's right. So somebody's telling you no Bitcoin. Somebody's telling you Bitcoin. What's the reason for people to invest in Bitcoins?
Because it's going to go up.
Because they will make money. Not the Bitcoin will go up. Because they will make money. If the Bitcoin will go up and you cannot sell it, you will not make money. Okay? So when we look at these classifications, usually people will either have more or reduce the loss. So it's always that you get more or you reduce your loss. So as a personal trainer, You will help people to be in a better shape.
Yeah.
And this is our the relationship people. Because they like to have a relation with themselves. That's right?
Yeah.
So you will help them to be in a better shape if it's in a shorter time, at a more cost effective, with easy to use process. People wants to listen to you. Do you understand?
Oh yeah.
It's not a lean muscles, it's not a lose weight, okay? Lose weight and lean muscles and the nutrition programs, will come as the features here. So what do you offer? I offer one-on-one,
One-on-one, semi-private sessions as well.
weekly, monthly, whatever.
Month to month, no contracts.
All of these are features, which will come after you articulate the benefits. If you want to have my ears tuned to you, and you convince me with the benefits, I will ask about the feature. Because we are process oriented, came from oil and gas industry, which most likely process. We like to talk about how we do stuff, not why we do stuff.
The only thing is people come in with a goal, right? If I can't help them reach their goal,
What's
they're not
my
going to want to
pain?
work with me.
What's my pain? Why do I want to come to a trainer?
Sorry?
You have to nail the pain. That's the benefit. What's my pain that's going to draw me? There's a million personal trainers.
Of course, it's all about building relationships with the client. As long as they feel they can trust you and they feel happy when they're working with you, they're having a good time, then it's a good investment in themselves.
So how you articulate this information
But I
up
have
front?
to be looking. I have to be looking. So what's going to draw me to you? That's the benefit. So if you can do a workout in half an hour, I'm listening. That's the time.
Yeah. So there are a few other aspects to this, like you cannot cut here in 5 minutes because we have been talking about this stuff for 3 months, okay? But this is just to explain to you guys what are these symbols and to review to others what are these symbols. So I will give you 5 minutes, is enough, to basically write down on the product sheet the product name and write some benefits which you can use. Remember, not everybody will have all the benefits. Some of you you must have at least 3, to be honest. And I can show you how to create the 4th one. So Kevin, you can work on the leadership offer you are looking for.
Using the time, money,
What's the value for the customer? If somebody will come, what he will gain from these benefits. Okay?
I'm Praveen. Kevin.
Danny.
Danny? Praveen.
Guys, we'll have enough time to complete each other. Just work with the schedule, we'll have a break and have things. Because we start at 9, we start at 9.
So I'm still not clear on the silver people.
You need more time, guys?
A little bit, a little bit.
Okay. So why all? You should be able to articulate them. Don't use all. Like split all into what they want to do.
Mhm.
Split all into different ones because all is just it's too fluffy.
Okay.
So Shamir is coming. He will be. So he's in a meeting. He's coming. He's be soon. So I was trying to write him. Okay, I write POOO.
Oh, no.
It's my phone.
Autocorrect.
Did you press send?
You want to share? Parveen, you want to share first?
Sure. For product benefits,
Yes.
for time, we're able to build rapport more quickly. For money, increase your closing ratio. For relationship, establish trust and respect quickly. And process clarity, because you're able to ask questions, open-ended questions, and get the feedback that you need.
Any feedback from the table first?
Sounds like a sales job, sales training.
You see, he did not tell you what he's doing, and that's why we don't want to introduce each one to each other. Now you can guess what he is doing.
Yeah.
Now, are you interested to know more about what he's doing? Although he's not doing it in an optimized way, I will discuss, but are you now intrigued? You want to listen more?
Yeah, you said some good words. Good words.
Okay? So I want you to practice, to experience this first before you practice how to pitch it. Okay? So can you go again?
Say the same thing.
Yes, it's the exact same thing.
All right. So for product benefits, time, you're able to build rapport more quickly. Money, increase your closing ratio. Relationship, establish trust and respect with your client very quickly. And process, get clarity of what the client needs.
Okay.
Yes. Sales training program, right?
Excellent.
So before we proceed, this is not the optimized way of doing it. Like there are a better way to focus the stuff, but even we use this language, how we can use it. We discussed before that we have human personalities. Like if I ask you guys one question, and let's just get the new fresh comers. We are not abusing you guys, just you
That's
know.
fine.
We're picking
Okay.
it.
If you win the lottery, what you will do?
If I won the lottery,
Yeah, what you will do?
the first thing I would do,
Yeah, you know, it's okay. I don't need your answer. What you'll do?
Buy a house.
Okay. Why I didn't want your answer? Because I got your answer already. The minute you start to think and trying to get to focus, it means you are a process guy. You deal more with the steps. You will be more intrigued to know how things will happen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I didn't want. I didn't want your answer anymore because I got what I want. So simple question like what you will do when you won the lottery. Where did you spend your last Christmas break? Where did you spend your last summer vacations? These are common questions to know what are the priority of these individuals. So the minute I know you are a process guy, I would tell you I do have a step-by-step program or an easy way to seek clarity of your customers, and then Praveen will go in a different order of these 4 different priorities. However, many of his customers are process oriented. So there is nothing wrong to start always from here. But if he meets somebody like Marianne's, the way the works and the way she will talk about, she got sick from the process because she is more into the relationship. And usually, people in the relationship and the feelers, they hate process and they don't like money and they don't want to talk about time. So if you want to approach her, you have to tell her first that she will build rapport with your customers. She is now interested to listen. But if you tell her you'll make more money, she will say, "Oh yeah, well, good, thank you." So you should observe in your customers, your clients' base, how they intrigued by different things. Unfortunately, we are a mirror of what we do. I'm a process guy, so I believe everybody wants to know how. I believe what I say, everybody will understand. This is not true. People will have different priorities, and if you touch these priorities, you will be able to build a better engagement relationship with them. Where it gets back to the relationship you mentioned. How many times did you go to the bar and you saw this lady and you didn't like her? Full stop. You didn't. And how many times you met someone who you talk to and you want to talk more, you want to know more. It nothing to do with your attitude or your feelings. It all what's to do is what's your interest here and how you can prioritize your interest. And there are tools and exercise where you can extract your personality from here. And some of these tools will be doing it in the coming 3 days workshop. So this is how we can use. So when you stand in front of a customer, you will not tell him from time benefit for you is that. You don't do that. You just basically say the benefits and you make a priority based on what's your prediction of the customer interest first. A CEO of a company will like budget and time. Okay? A stay-home mom, what she will like. Can you give me an answer? Relationship?
Sure, yeah, I don't know, relationship.
That's right.
Probably time too.
Maybe time.
Yeah, that's true. They'd be very busy with their kids.
So if you come and say, I will help you making more money with an easy process, she will care less than somebody will come and say, I will help you be in shape and have enough time to take care of your kids. Do you agree? In principle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay. So, and I'm not sure how many times did you see these models for positioning a product, but this is how everybody is doing it. Like when you talk about slogan of companies, they must be at least 3 of these. It's very rare to see 2.
Like a tagline?
A tagline will be driven by at least 3 of these. Any attitude inside the company has to be driven by 3 of these. Any sales presentation, especially when you talk from selling from the stage or selling to a group, you must be able to hit upon each one of these triggers. Okay? You wanna share? Yeah. You wanna share?
Sure. For time, trusted professional time-saving services. For money, attract higher quality clients and charge more money. For relationship, client-focused approach to your branding package. For process, proven effective system to working together.
Okay.
But, can I say something?
Yeah.
I got confused when I was doing this for benefits in that, because the package is a visual identity package, brand package.
Yep.
So when I'm saying the benefits, am I telling them about the benefits of working with me, or what the benefits of the package itself will do for them?
What do you recommend, guys?
Package.
What the benefits will do for them once the package is done?
Yes. The letter.
Okay.
The second one.
I mean,
Like
on-
this
if-
this will tell should tell my customers, and there is a difference between clients and customers. We'll talk about it later. This will tell my customers if they when they sign up for my service, what they will get as a benefits.
Or
So
the outcome of them working.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Can I just give my opinion on that as well?
Yeah.
So in terms of sales, one thing is though, honestly, you do have to sell yourself, right? So if you build a relationship where that person wants to work with you specifically, even if your product is not as good as, let's say, the next person's product, because they like you as an individual, they'll be willing to work with you. And I'm saying that just coming from, I worked at a car dealership for just over a year, and I was top salesman. I have like 6 trophies from it.
Which is beautiful.
So
Which
I'm just
is-
saying that's
I
that's
wanna-
one thing that worked for me.
I
That's all
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you. I agree with you. I agree with you. However, you are moving as a personal trainer in some other career because just bear with me here, guys, and I hope you'll get value from what we say. Okay. The model of a car dealership is different than the model of a personal trainer. Because in a car dealership, you will have people walking in and have a conversation, and usually you cannot close in the first meeting. Usually people will come again and again, and sometimes they keep coming forever, but
Yeah,
usually
follow up.
usually it's 2 to 3 meetings, that's right?
Yeah, that's true.
If I am selling from the stage a training program, and my training program is no different than her services, than his training program. All of them are training program. I don't have the time. I don't have the venue to build this rapport and build this relationship, to gain trust and build the relationship.
Or is that what she's doing?
She cannot meet with the client more than 1 to 2 hours over 2-3 times meeting. That's it. And if you stand on a stage and you try to sell, you don't have the time even to touch the customers. Customers can go and sign up right away. So in models where the customers will come to you are different from when you go around and you radiate your message. So the radiation of the message comes through seminars, through webinar. If I'm selling online tools or online training, people will not come to me. I don't have the store. I will create my webinar to radiate my knowledge. You know what difference between radiate and magnet? Magnet means they will come. Your message is here. They will come to your message before you even say it. Radiation or radiant means I have my message and I'm putting out landing pages, whatever you call it. I'm putting events, I'm going to meetups to be able to present myself. So we understand and we have the statistics which shows that relationship selling will not sell as good as these models. Nobody have been talking to Tony Robbins in person to build a rapport that Tony Robbins will help him. That's right. People will go there and sign up because the messages he's putting out create this particular environment or this particular what you call it interest. So don't get your mind around people who tell you, oh, relationship, you build relationship and you sell. I have a good relationship with my parents and they never bought anything from me. Okay, so relationship selling, I personally don't agree on it. I understand you must have a relationship, you must be a nice guy, people have to accept you and stuff like that. But if you position your business as you will go in every community and grab one customer, one client at a time, or one lead, or one prospects, and then build the relationship, you will have a book full of meetings and schedules, and you will have empty wallet because people will not buy you. People still need to build relationship. If people are not doing it for immediate benefit, they will not do it. And when you get too close to people and become your friend, you will find it is very hard for you to ask for money, and it's very hard for them to justify why they pay you. Do you agree on that?
Yeah, I agree 100%. The only thing is that it's going to be different depending on what you're selling, right? So because I'm a personal trainer, honestly, what I am selling is a relationship with your clients. It's all about referrals. It's one after your first 6 months, 80% of your clients are going to be referrals. So it's all about the experience. Honestly, that's how it is. Because like you said, there's so many personal trainers out there. So many, right? It's very easy to
What
get.
I'm hearing from Weil is that, let's say you have great rapport building ability, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know what you're doing. The people who come to you, they end up being injured or somehow other being disappointed. Doesn't matter how great you are at building relationships.
Oh
You
yes,
don't
of
have-
course. Yeah, I agree 100%. Okay, yeah. That's
And
great.
we
Yeah,
worked
100%.
with personal trainers who are now selling online packages. They have no relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
And when they use these techniques, among others, they were able to stand out and they were able to come to say, we are too busy to come to these event meetings. And they start to say, can you do stuff online on one-on-one and stuff like that? So with all the perception to justify why you don't sell in the first week by trying to tell you it's a relationship and people have to experience you first, I disagree. We buy stuff from people online and offline. We never knew them at all. How many of us here bought $27 tool or package or $17 package from somebody they just see through an ad? Or even if you did not buy because you didn't have your credit card ready, you were so eager to buy it and said, you know what, my credit card has no balance. Doesn't matter. How many times happened to each one around the table? The principle that I run my business based on my relationship, I have only 24 hours a day. I will work and sleep like 12 hours, and I have only 12 hours left. I cannot have 12 hours meetings to build it. So I agree with you. If this is the way you run your business, it's great for you. However, this is not the ultimate way to scale your business. If you have 100
Yeah,
customers,
I hear you.
If you-
I'm just talking about like when I'm meeting people face to face. Obviously, if I want to monetize on the online platform, like getting people to buy services, packages, meal plans, stuff like that online, then this is going to be very valuable.
or
So I
even
totally understand
come
what
to
you're
your
saying.
group in the gym. Like I work with someone downtown who has like 25 to 30 individuals come to his group every hour. He cannot build a personal relationship with all of them because he run like 5 groups maximum a day. So he goes like through about 100 people a day. He cannot build a relationship with them. I cannot visualize it. Sorry. Anyway, okay. So, does anyone have any feedback? Okay.
So, my product is teaching time management, or not time management, but change management to the construction industry. Because I'm a construction guy, retired, and I can bring wisdom and knowledge that is not taught in schools. So, the benefits on time are about finishing projects on time or ahead of schedule. The dollar value is to improve the bottom line or minimize losses, because there are projects which go sideways regardless of how well they were planned, and there are losses. So there's ways to minimize the losses. The relationships is about improving the communication between everybody that's involved with a project. And the process, well, the process is about learning what is not taught in schools or universities. So the construction industry has a set of three processes. One is making money, one is how you're gonna bill, and the other one is about the learning curve. And in between each of these processes, there's a gap. So I call this training bridging the gaps between processes for the construction
So
industry.
if I want to pick up this as a good example, so can I just?
Oh, yes, you can.
Have to remember. So one way to position this product is to say, I provide tools or field experience, or because learning is not taught in school, you cannot say it is very long. So this will be like experience and tools for your business to finish projects on time and improve the bottom line to minimize losses through improvement of communication skills. Are you willing to know more about my service? I want to get your feedback. Is this better introduction, or I am telling you I'm providing a workshop training for change management? Which one, the first or the second one, you will like better?
Oh, it depends which one is first or second.
No, the second one is I provide workshops and training for change management.
Could you say the first one again?
The first one is I provide an experience or field experience to finish projects on time or ahead of schedule by improving the bottom line and minimizing your losses through improvement of communication skills of your employees or your management or your whatever. The long version or the version that I provide a change management to help the better giving your business.
Like as an opener, you mean?
As an opener, yeah.
I think the second one, right? Because
Which is which one now?
that's the second one, right?
The longer or the shorter?
The shorter.
That's you. I provide change management.
Yeah, the shorter one, because then it makes it so you can build a little bit more of a conversation about it, right? So
You will
may
not.
have more questions.
You will not, because the experience shows that people will box you and make a decision that you are like every other change management consultant was trying to sell them, and they said no for them. So they will close their minds, they will blink, and they will not listen to the rest.
I have
agree.
I have
So
an issue with that.
the minute I come here to you guys and say, I am what did you call me, business coach? I'm a business coach. What you will say? I hate the word coach, by the way. But if I come and say I'm a business coach, I will be like what?
What
Like-
I think?
Yeah, like every other business coach you met before. So if I am an insurance provider, if I come and say I'm an insurance agent, what you will believe? Because I'm trying to sell you insurance. So to overcome the blind and the blink of people and let them more interested, we found out that if you start with this opening, and when you go on your website and you write this as an opening paragraphs, people will read more. You are not like everybody's doing a workshop in town, everybody's doing a workshop. What's the difference between your workshop and my workshop?
It's like a politician saying, vote for me. You know,
Yeah, I get you. I get you, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the merits usually is to go around and when we go to like these different meetups and different networking events, to practice these benefits and see the reactions of people. So because majority of the people he will be dealing with will be a process oriented, they want to know what are the steps involved. So he can easily say, I'm offering a step-by-step program that's provide a field applied learning, which what means not in schools, to finish your projects on time or maybe ahead of schedule, and by improving the bottom line, I will minimize your losses and increase your profit through improved communication skills and management in the field or between you, your staff, and the construction sites.
It's very specific.
You must have it at the end very specific, because you cannot be everybody for everything for everybody at any time. Sorry,
Can you say
all-
the specific one again? What you said? Something specific.
Step-by-step program.
It's a step-by-step program, because usually people wants to buy a step-by-step program or a system. People don't want to buy learning. Okay? Now, which one of these, because I look at this as a template. Because I have this template, which one of those I should start first? If I see the wife of the CEO, I will start first and say, I provide systems to improve communication. Because they don't care about the time and the dollar, because we assume that the spouse is always the heart and the principal is always the brain. This is only assumption. 80% of the people, 60% of the people. This does not mean that ladies don't have a brain. Ladies have a brain, and sometimes a good brain if they use it, but they always advance their heart. And that's why they don't make sense to us, okay? And don't tell my wife, okay? As long as you laugh at it now, you can remember it. So this is template. This is not like you don't write it and memorize it. Just memorize the template. Memorize that these are alternative components of a statement that I will use based on whoever in front of me. I may be lucky that my business, majority of them will be process or majority of them will be relation. Majority of the business, like if you sell to healers, holistic earth people, there will be more relationship. If you sell to engineers or other people in town, accountant, bookkeepers, all of these are process. Okay? The difference between a vice president and the CEO, vice president will care about the time and the process. The CEO will care about the time and the money. Having them in one room, it's a hell of a big job to sell because they are not interested in the same piece of information. You cannot engage both of them. You have to be really experienced salesman to be able to engage both of them in one table. Okay? Does this help?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
See, that's the process, right?
Yep.
Okay?
That's good.
So I took one thing away when he was speaking. He said the word retired, and it brought up a negative thought right away. If you're retired, are you in touch with today's changes? Because were you retired 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Times have changed in that time. Maybe even retired too long to provide useful information in today's market. So I would leave retired right out of it. I would say have lots of experience. People don't need to know that you've stopped retired, because you might have stopped retired, went to Vegas or the Caribbean for 3 years and decided, hey, I got to do something again, right? So that was my thought process when I heard the word retired.
Thank you, Mike.
Keep it out.
Experience
Thank
is
you.
very good.
I go to experience,
Yeah.
but keep the word retired out of there because
Excellent.
it means you stopped and started. In my mind.
And this comes, yeah, I agree. And this comes to one thing is communication is the right pickup of words. And there is a YouTube I saw from my son on an African guy who was interviewed in the American embassy, and he was listing the 10 states. I will play it after the break if I find it. So communication is a pickup of word. If you can pick up the right word. So for example, and this is not my language, but if somebody say, okay, what the hell are you doing here, guys, and what the shit is doing, you basically classify this guy when they said these 3 words, and I apologize for using this word. You basically classify him with a specific brand. That's right? Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody will stand and start to say this word. By the way, if you go to the oil field, any single foreman will use this word every 10 seconds. I was there and I was really shocked. I heard the F word in 15 minutes more than what I heard it in 41 years.
Adjective, noun.
It was like 10. And I never had experience before that. Before I was installing this sensors over there, and I never even met with the foreman at the time. I was usually meeting the CEOs and different people, and my team is the research team who will go there and install the platforms and leave and come back. It was this particular time this supervisor came in, and we did not have any of our tickets because we didn't know that there is something called tickets at the time. And then we start to get grilled by him. I say, I heard F words more than 41 years in 15 minutes. Now, if this is the common thing in their field, yes, if you come without this language, you'll be green. You'll be the fob. That's right, they don't accept you. So communication, it's about picking up the best connecting words, the power of words. Not everybody need to be Churchill. However, these leaderships and leaders, when they use power words in their statement, like I have a dream. How many of you here have a dream?
Mhm.
But we know who is the one who has the dream, right? So it was one guy who have a dream, and everybody else have a dream. Like population have been around for 40,000 years. We know only 5,000 years ago because the writing started there, and everybody was dreaming for 40,000 years. And I did have few dreams as well. Each one has a dream, but we know about one guy who has a dream. So if I come and say I have a dream, oh, you use it for after Luther. Martin Luther King. What? I have my dream, man. Doesn't matter. So this is examples. When you laugh at it, just use it for your benefit, guys. So retired, if you come to tell stories about how negative your life before, people will not come to buy. You must break through specific time in the relationship to be able to show your vulnerability, especially for people who are trying to sell leaderships. Okay? Yes, sir.
Can I share something
Sure.
about the F word?
Yep.
I've been in the construction industry for 50 years, and I know exactly what you're saying. And sitting at a sub-trade meeting, we got 25 guys around the table, and the F-bombs is dropped like you were in the middle of a war. I never in my life used the word F. I was the leader. I was the guy running the meeting, but I didn't condone them for doing it. I allowed them to use the language. And it took about 2 months. And in a period of 2 months, hardly anybody was using the word anymore.
Yep.
Because I wasn't using it. But I didn't request that to be. It just happened. That's interesting.
I had a different approach to that. When I was working at Important Commerce, I was shocked. I was like, I was like, oh. So again, power of words, power of communication, right? I didn't know how to say, please don't say those words without offending or being offensive, right? So I said, would you mind if we use professional language? There's nothing wrong with requesting professional language. And everybody's fine. They would continue, but when I was there, they would.
However, when you are a service provider, it's different. When you are a manager and commander or a engineer or somebody in the team, it's different than us coming as a service provider, because these guys can basically damage your products. And I can share with you a very interesting story, if you allow me here. Back 1999, 1997, 1996, I was installing systems over Windows 3.11, which is Windows with Novell network.
Mhm.
People who are younger than this age, they don't understand what Novell means, but we didn't have cloud at the time. So what happened is we did not tell people that this will take over their jobs, because people want their jobs and they felt the computer will take away their jobs. We went this particular day and we found all the network cable had been cut.
Yeah.
So they said there was mice, there was rats, there was some.
Yeah.
So I went around. It happened like 2-3 times. Every time we changed the network cables, we found people are cut. So we noticed that the cables are being cut sideways with a scissor. And I was working in a textile ready-made garment facility. So they develop garments. Okay, they have scissors. And I got in a relationship with one of the very junior girls over there. And after 2-3 weeks, I asked her the question. She said, yeah, the supervisor would cut the cables on the weekend because we don't want to lose our jobs. So people will go physically and cut the cables because their perception. So if you are a supplier, it's a different story. You must have their blessing. You must have their empathy, not their sympathy. They must allow you to provide your service. So I cannot come to somebody who's allowing me access to field and tell him, oh, stop using this language. Because he'll say, oh, take your ass out of here immediately. So, and that's why I apologize about the language, but this is the reality of our field. Like, Tony Robbins will tell you, if he does not use the F-bomb, people will not change, which is something we completely disagree with. The way we have been raised is different. But it's just a very simple way to get your acceptance of what I say. If somebody uses these three words, what you will classify him, what you will think about of him, and then can you allow him to teach you something? Most likely not. So this is will just demonstrate the power of specific words. Because there's people will come and say, oh, we have a relationship, it doesn't matter, the word is meaningless. Not necessary. Especially in the very first 2-3 meeting with your customer. Okay?
What would you suggest instead of doing that? Not saying
I don't say, the only time I said these words was the time when I want to get attention from these guys because I never said it. I was there all the time. And then when I want to really get their attention seriously, because there's something serious, I say, no, stop, and I use this word. So I don't use this word. I don't use them. It reflects bad on my business. It reflects bad on anybody's business. That's right. And unfortunately, if you deal with police officers and the law enforcement personnel, these are the common words they use. Yep. In correctional facilities, sheriffs, when we did securities for the courthouse, we had to deal with lots of sheriffs for training. And these people, this is a common language they use. But we were trainers, so we did not really engage with their language. When we did the installation for security for prisons as well, all prison guards are the same. And the tighter and the high security prisons, these languages are more aggressively used, unconsciously. Like I never blame them, I never criticize them because they use unconsciously. If you go to the other way on the work which Karen is doing on like dealing with the people under the line and people who have really emotional drains and people are loser and they really need help and empowerment, the ladies there, they use this language all the time. All the time. So you have to tolerate that. But if the minute you start to use it, you will be like them. You will lose, you will come at their level. So they will accept your advice for that. I know it's the way you, my understanding of what you do, you will be facing lots of this work. Okay? Let's just focus on what we have today. So can you go next and just tell us what's the benefit of your product?
So for time, you save time by being in more control in a leadership role. You'll be more efficiency with your time by doing time management. You increase your money with being in a leadership position, which increases the job value at work. Relationship, you build leadership skills, and a chance for you to build a strong team and build connections with other people on your team. And the process is step by step. We have a 10 meetings, 90-minute meetings.
Any feedback for Kevin?
So I think if you're into leadership training for any industry,
Young people,
14 to 20-year-old people, and do you present at schools or in the workplace?
both.
Both.
I was mixed between features and benefits.
Okay.
Some of them was like, so what? And the other part is, oh, I'm interested. Right, so that's the benefit. The benefit is really what you're going to call out.
What was the next one?
It was featured. It was 90 minutes.
Step by step mastermind.
So if it's outcome based, like what they're gonna experience through your training, that's the process that they're gonna learn to be able to take outside, or is that how you?
That's what I do. I just took it
Yeah.
to you. Yeah, for you.
Oh.
Step by step.
So can that process be turned around to what would be the advantage to them in their processes in their life after doing the training, right?
Okay.
So what will change in my life like from these? That's a benefit. Because the reason people deal with other people is because they need to solve a solution. They need to solve something, right? So what will you solve by me coming to you? That's a good way to look at a benefit.
Okay. I have more input for you, but we want to move forward for the sake of the time. So let's move. If you get confused, it's okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was a little confused, but I just put for time. I just put like short workouts. You know, you can get 45 minutes to an hour in. So saves you time because it's a little more condensed, which basically means you're going to get more out of your workout. You don't have to spend as much time there. And then for the money thing, I just put the value of your money that you're going to spend because you're investing in yourself, right? Because
So you maximize the value of your investment,
exactly.
which is good word.
Yeah. And then for relationship, I just put, you're going to have better relationships with everybody around you because you're going to feel better, you're going to be more positive, and your mindset's going to change because you're going to be feeling better from the workouts.
Beautiful what you said. However, the first one is very fluffy. You will have a good relationship with everybody around you. Everybody, all, everything, anything, but thing, nothing thing. All of these will show you as a joker. It does not recede well with the receiving party. So if I come and say you will have a better relationship with your girlfriend, and somebody like me will come and say, oh, I don't have one girlfriend, I have two. Can I? Will both will be affected? Or no, somebody serious like me say, okay, I don't have a girlfriend, I have a wife. You see that, and your wife as well. But if you say to everybody, yeah, it's everybody. Who is everybody? If you come and say, you'll have a better relationship with your kids, and somebody say, oh, I don't have a kids anymore. I'm an empty nester. They are actually have a grandkids. So, yeah, your kids and your grand. So, do you understand?
Specific, yeah. I get
The
what you're saying.
specific
Yeah.
can get you the objections, and also the specific can get you into the thing. So, if you are with the junior generation, you will talk about be able to hook up well with somebody. You will be able to be attracted to ladies, and you'll be able to find a partner.
Right.
If you go to like mid generation, it will be you be healthy enough to play with your kids and co-op with their activities. The senior relation, you can be more specific to them,
Yeah.
and you have a brains, right? So you can pick up from this template which part you will use with which audience.
Right, I get you.
So this is all about because I was just talking to Mariana earlier, and I told her like I don't like the word or all or everybody or everything or you are the good for everybody. It has to be specific to specific groups. If somebody working hard in the field and working 12 hours, I will help you because you will feel good, and you can work for the 12 hours without feeling tired. Or do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
So this would be easier too once you decided who your target really was going to be, right? Like if you decided it was going to be moms, stay-at-home moms.
The thing is, my main target right now, obviously, is just the general public. Anybody that needs to work on their health and their fitness, overall general fitness. Right?
And
so
this
I'm not
is
specific to athletes or anybody specifically. Some trainers, they're like strictly, bodybuilding. That's all they focus on. Like competitors, athletes. But like this is just general.
And this will create for you a bigger problem. Because if we talk about our business, a specific business as circles like this, okay, so we can call each one of these circles like bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, whatever. Each one of these has a competition. There are competitors here for each one of these. That's right? Of course. And I would like Star Wars, I would like to come here and introduce my service. And I come and say, I'm starting and I'm doing it for everybody. What you are doing in reality, you are attracting all of these competitors to compete against you. So it will be very hard to distinguish what you are doing and why is you. So that's why only successful people will focus on one or two of these circles. They cannot be everybody for everything, because you don't have enough time to throw your messages. You don't have enough financial support to market in all of these areas. So if people are looking for athletes only and you are not doing it, you exclude it. And you exclude it in your message. Because otherwise, you will be basically spending your time competing against all of these people, and you'll not get business.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay.
I've literally only been doing it for 1 month. That's why the general public is the starting
It doesn't
point.
matter. Just take this information and you can apply it. None of us here is responsible for your results. You are the one responsible for your results. And all what we do here is we share and we discuss. We do things
Okay.
and we discuss it.
Perfect.
The minute you start to justify or defend it, is the exact minute it shows that you are close enough not to accept anybody else's input. Who is here to make decision about your own business is you, none of us. Okay, so this is just to make sure. One more thing about when you explaining things, and don't take it personal from me.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say, I will do that, and then the sentence will be too short, and then you say, because, and you start to explain it with a longer sentence. You must stop this habit. So Claudia, for example, will say, I'm doing that, and then he say, because in the construction industry, and he just start to put more information. The minute you do this, it just shows immediately that you are not clear and confident in this. People need to ask you more questions to get this other part. The way to explore this is to record yourself and then sit and listen to yourself, say why you justify it. We don't justify, we don't defend. Say, I'm doing that, not because. Because instead of saying because, I would rather say, do you have the same pain? Can I help you? Not because others will have the same pain. Okay?
I had a little bit of feedback. When you talk about 45 to 60 minutes, what were the words you used? Compressed or something?
Condensed.
Condensed?
Yeah.
Condensed is just efficient.
But this is still in the feature, so he shouldn't use this in the benefit because we're still going through the features, okay? So this part, you should not have it. This is not part of the benefits.
Okay.
Because this is the how. Okay. Mike and Marianne, which one will start first?
Well, and yet,
Oh, the last part. Sorry, my process. All I put here was just a healthy, realistic process.
Good.
so when you think of a client, instead of just trying to talk to everybody all at once, pick the characteristics, pick an ideal client. Maybe it's him, maybe it's me, so two age demographic different. And pretend like you want to speak directly to him and what would be exciting for him.
Right.
Or if you want to go from my age group, what would be exciting for me.
Exactly.
So we call it the avatar.
Mm-hmm.
So your ideal client, what do they look like?
Right.
And then scope your benefits and your message directly towards that target.
I see.
And then you'll attract more people because now you're speaking to my age group, right? So I might be starting to feel aches and pains, whereas he's still able to do parkour all over the parking lot, right? So two different messages, right?
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, Mike and Marianne, which one wants to first?
So for time, being able to change your mindset from anxiety to peace, to feeling peace within minutes. For money, be able to create a mindset of making and manifesting more money. For relationship, improve personal, intimate, and business relationships. For process, have a step-by-step process when you feel stress or anxiety to get to go to peace and clarity.
So this we call it to avoid or to transform
To transform.
or to change. Can you guys help me with the word here? You have two different status. One is anxiety, the other one is peace. So to change, to transform, to what?
Enhance, maybe?
Enhance? Or to flip,
Improve.
to improve. Okay.
Mhm.
Any more feedback from Marianne?
People don't like change. They don't want to improve it.
Mike, you know, go.
Okay. Regarding the benefits on time, avoid hours of frustration with your taxes. Spend 15 minutes a week on bookkeeping. On the dollar side, maximize improving profits. Reduce the tax dollars you need to pay. On relationship, I have more time for family. work more closely with your staff, or create better relationships with your clients, spend more time with your clients. And then the process, I had system approach to stay CRA compliant and create clarity around CRA needs.
Beautiful, awesome. So if you can do this in just one paragraph, this should be the benefit of whoever will come to your program. Any feedback, Mike?
It's good, man. It's very compelling.
Okay. And as I said, if you meet somebody in person and you know somebody, like if you meet somebody, everybody needs taxes. Do you agree that? Everybody needs to have tax filing. And he's focusing on small to medium businesses. So if you meet somebody working from home as a stay-home mom, which statement I will lead with? Spend more time with your family and be closer to your staff. And if I know the one in front of me, it does not have any staff, will I use stay close to your staff? I will probably not. I will say stay close to your suppliers. So I try to get you away from the model which I memorize these things and I cite them. This is not citation work. It's intelligent work where you can pick up from this framework specific statements to better match your target audience. Okay? Yes, sir.
Last question. So before you use these cost of benefits, would you have to qualify them or ask questions before?
You, where are you? I said you okay. My fingers wrote boo. It's by mistake, and I was happy not to press the same.
I do what
So this is a good question. Now, when you present in front of people in like a meetup or the meetings we go together to, do you have time to ask more questions? Or people will come say, okay, Kevin, what you do?
Yeah, that's the first thing.
The first thing they ask. Now, I always recommend that you try to ask them questions. So when you ask these people questions, you ask them questions about what? What do you want to know about them in the questioning? You would like to know what are their triggers.
Yeah.
You don't like to know who are they, what they work. It's irrelevant. When I come and stand and say, okay, so what do you do for a living? I don't care. You are a banker, you are an accountant, you are a bookkeeper. I don't care. However, the three means you are process oriented. Because bankers, successful bankers, bookkeepers, accountants, they care about process, step-by-step systems and techniques. They don't care about how to feel good. Okay? If you meet somebody who is a healer or massage therapist or a nurse, what make a 40 years experienced nurse, a 40 years experienced nurse, never been a clinical lead in her unit? Why? Does she need more brain? No, nursing has lots of thinking to do, okay? Does she need more awareness and caution? No, she doesn't need anything. All what she loves is her heart. She hates the process, she hates the supervision, she hates the management. Oh, and this is the reality. We really decide about these people that say, oh no, yeah, they are losers. They are not losers. They are the most successful people. They live in a peace of mind because they do what they love and they are good in what they do and they keep doing. Mother Teresa, which is many of us will know about her, what she was doing was like, doesn't make sense to me, you know? But for her was her soul. She was fulfill her soul, she will fulfill her passion, going around and helping these children all over, and we now recognize her. But however, in her time, she was more on the relationship. So when you go and ask me question, okay, should I ask them questions? If you know these models, you should ask them questions to know what are the potential triggers for them. Why do they want to know? We have been told, put yourself in their shoes. Yes, but my size does not fit their size. It's not the story about the shoes in this way. We never been told you must understand the triggers, which will trigger somebody else to buy from you. So if you can understand the triggers, you can ask them questions. And then what will happen?
So what questions do you ask?
I-
Because normally when you go to a meetup, people go, "What industry are you in?" That's the leading question.
So if you understand the...
So if I come to you, let's say we're in a meetup, and I come to you, what industry are you in?
I usually avoid this question. I switch
But I
it.
just asked it. So
I
how
know.
How are you going to respond to it?
I know. I say that's great. So what about you first? And then I would flip the dialogue. But if you understand or you are following the John Maxwell models and different communication models, people usually ask about the time, what did you do first? They give social questions first. And when you ask what did you do, how you spend your last weekend, how was your last Christmas, how was your last summer break? Oh, it's snowing outside. I wish to be in the mountain. Do you go to the mountain? I sometimes hit people with these questions in response to their question because I don't want to be known up front, because the minute they know me, they will box me in what they know about what they perceive me doing it.
Right.
So if you understand this and just
So what questions would you lead? What,
I will share with you. I will share with you a few questions you can lead with, but I want to first make sure you understand that when people receive from you, people will have perception, then people will repeat or iterate, and then people will retain. So you should be able to keep them as long as you can in the receiving point. So if receiving, this is what people receive from you. The way you say the F-bomb, the way you sit, the way your clothes are, the way your body is, like for bodybuilders, if you come up with a body building, people will say, this is so people will receive, and the receiving has nothing to do with your actions, with your word, or what happened. These are completely different space.
The psychological term for this is called heuristics. Heuristics.
What I want to make sure for people who are not in the science is very simple. There is a gap between what you do and what happened and what people receive from you. What make you receive a warm and fuzzy feeling that I'm friendly? We never met before. So why you are listening to me? What make you interested into participation in this particular workshop or these discussions? Why do you think that we are a bunch of fools sitting around the table? You smile. This exactly what is it? So I'm always avoiding the perception cycle. That's why when you go out, you don't have your what's her name? She comes with a shirt from State Farm Insurance, and she is not talking about insurance anymore. It's like 20% of her business. She's doing so many other stuff, but because she has the insurance business on her shirt, everybody will feel she will come and talk to them about insurance. And drastically, what she's doing as well is all of the material she has, it has State Farm Insurance. The mugs, the shirts, the back of her thing, and then she wants to come to talk to you about business and how you develop your business. Will you want to listen to her? Nobody will listen to her because everybody will box her in what? In the negative experience where they have with an insurance or a State Farm or whatever. So your job when you meet with people is to avoid being in the box.
And isn't it also just as important not to box other people? Try to avoid boxing other people.
I don't care about you because you are going there to sell, not to buy. So I don't care about what you do. But it's very important that you don't box people, because if you box them as they will not buy from you, they will never buy from you. So you're right. It's very important. So what's my job when I go to a networking event? Is not to sell. My job is to sort through the audience to find out who I can close on a meeting, or I can have some kind of closer, and who cannot it does not waste my time following up with them. This is my job. So if your job is to go and sort this, you know what sort means, you know? If this is my job, I am not there to talk about my business. However, the one in front of me, like exactly what Mike said, he wants to ask me quickly what industry I'm in because they want to classify me as a competitor or somebody they don't want to talk to because everybody else is selling as well. Okay? So I usually shift these questions into them to talk about themselves first and not answering. And sometimes they don't really get an answer by the time they leave because I'm not there to answer, I'm just to know them. If you see the leadership questions and meetings from John Maxwell School, they always ask about, they have like 3 or 5 different things to ask about. Like, what did you do last week? What did you do last summer? What do you enjoy? What are your hobbies? To get to know people first, which work with the model about knowing people and building a relationship with people first. So I usually avoid this boxing. It takes about 7 seconds for people to make a decision about you. If you can prolong these 7 seconds, you will be in a better position to send them more values, to talk about more benefits of what you do, to talk about how good you are. Not to let them box you to make a decision. And then what we do after boxing? We put the box on the shelf. Will you look at the box on the shelves? No. Not often. Okay? Does this make sense to you guys?
So it sounds like you're sneaking, dodging the
You are not sneaking. Sneaking means you make judgment. Sneaking means, like the use of the word sneaking means you basically judge that people are trying to play games around you.
You avoid the question.
I basically avoid the question. And there is a limit to avoid. Like sometimes people are just very insisting. And believe me, the minute you answer the question, what will happen? They will say, nice to meet you. Shake my hand, man.
Oh, okay.
Nice to meet you. Oh, I have to go to the washroom. And sometimes actually it got me curious to go to the washroom and see how many there. I was the only one in the washroom.
Maybe they went to the other one. They're not trying to invent your again.
Okay.
But exactly what you said by not answering. So if I ask you a question, like I'm thinking specifically of 2 or 3 people I've met at meetups. Every time I ask them a question, they dodge it. They don't answer me. So it disrespects me. And when I ask a question to try to find more about the person, get to know them in the social environment, and they turn around and they flip a question on me, it's like, see you later. Because I've had that happen. I've had that happen a few times, and there's 3 people I can think of that do that all the time. I don't know if they come out of the school of John Maxwell or whatever, but you don't answer my question. That's
You
just,
want to know about the person, that's right? So you want to know about the person, which is the person here.
but don't ask a question on a question.
No, I understand, but you want, like, your root cause of asking the question, what business sectors you are in. You say, I want to know about the person, but here you want to know about their business, not the person. So the question you ask is to know about the business, and you claim that this question about their business, you know about them. So it's a very hard question to ask somebody what business sectors you are in, because many of us will have multiple business sectors. Like if you are investors or if you are in different organizations. So I would just say, okay, so what do you do for a living? Or what do you enjoy? Like people can say, okay, so what do you do for work? I say, I never worked. I worked only 6 months back when I was planning to go for a PhD, that's it. So people will look at me and say, yeah, I just follow my passion, and then I start to talk about what I do following my passion, which basically the service you guys are in here. So I always shifted into the value of what I do, because I'm always avoiding the box. I'm a special, I have an accent, I have a higher education than anybody, maybe in Canada. The minister told me that last, when I met them in Toronto. He said very few people he met that have such a level of education in his life, and maybe I'm the only one in Canada at this level. and they were surprised why I'm not in Ottawa area to take advantage of my education. So, I don't know. So I always avoid this boxing. So it's up to you how you want to answer. Because also remember, the only way we connect with people is from where? From our heart, to your heart. So if you want to flip or switch your attitude and your language, you have to practice them enough in these meetings with foreigners till the minute you feel that's you. So you go out and be able to talk to everybody. If you will take this learning and you program your brain, people will feel it. You are not learning from your heart. It takes about 6 months to a year for me to switch to what I'm doing now. 10 years ago or 6 years ago, you guys wouldn't even take me. It was different. You can change, you can switch, but it takes time to be yourself, to feel comfort. This is what I believe and this is what I'm doing. If you talk about superficially, people will feel it. And believe me, every single individual I work with, when they went first on the stage in front of people for the first maybe 3 or 4 presentation, I felt it. They are superficial. 3, 4 times, 5 times, they start to be themselves. They start to feel they talk from their heart. People will connect with hearts. Okay? Any more questions? Any more? Does this answer your question? Why?
You still didn't give me an alternative to breaking the ice.
So the alternative to break the ice is.
So I say, what industry are you in? What's your response?
I don't even know that I'm in a specific industry, but what I do is I help people and I provide my benefits. This is one way I answer this one.
You just be dry.
What
The
I'm
goal
hearing-
is to talk about the benefits. The goal is not to box me into the industry. Because I'm not a business coach. I hate the word the name coach. Are you a coach?
Yeah.
I hate the word business coach.
Do you have any haters in the room?
Yeah, Rob is in Vancouver. So Rob is in Vancouver and Marcel did not come today because he has a personal engagement. So you have less to hate than this. Yes, sir.
You go, there you go again with just the letters. So you have how people receive you, how
Perceive,
people perceive you,
repeat, and or iterate.
repeat.
Yes.
Okay.
So if I perceive you are a good man, I can repeat by asking around you. I can have my own self-talk, and I can also talk to my cousin Google to look you out. And if I look you up with my cousin, and I see a murder in a case, I will retain something different.
Oh, retain.
I'm just like are the 4 phases of any engagement. If you stand on a stage and talk in front of people or meet people in a room, it takes them few hours to few days to perceive, and then if they are really interested, they will ask around about you, or they will have their self-talk, and then they retain something. Look at this model in how you get engaged with ladies, and ladies look at his model when how you engage with men. You seen somebody you really like. He never really give a damn, but he didn't really care about you, but you really like. When you meet this person and you really like, you say, yeah, I like this person. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, which is he didn't say anything, okay? And then you say, yeah, you can start your self-talk. Yeah, I know this guy is good. If he's around, I can do this and this, and then they go around and ask their friends, what do you think about such a guy? And then they describe him. You say, wow. So they retain that this is their dream man or dream woman, okay? And nothing happens. They didn't even have a discussion. There's so many stories in Disney and all cinema, all movies, which is like the same.
This just happened last week. There was a speaker who had like 7 engagements, but by the second engagement, people were talking about that he had killed his son, and so now nobody wanted to come to his talk anymore. This just happened last week.
Yeah.
This is the guy who.
Oh, that was that.
The guy with the kid with the meningitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because Sobeys pulled out.
Yeah.
So how to use these pieces of information in business? In your communication skills, when you meet some people who you met for the second time or the third time, or even you have an event here or you meet people here, you can send them emails or messages to drive their perception. You should be able to have enough material and send to them material to help them iterate and repeat about you in the right way. And when they retain something from you, you can always influence that. So when you stand on a stage and sell to many, stand on a stage means you have more than 3 or more in the room. Like if the 4 of you are here and one primary is selling the other 3 something, is no different than standing on the stage. No difference. So stage means you talk to 3 or more individuals, not 2. Techniques are different for 2. So if you understand that the engagement will happen on these 4 phases, how you can foster these phases by having a survey here. Because in a survey, people want to decide people will decide, and they will tell you what they retain from the event, right? If I want to keep it here, and I don't close with the survey, I can send them information to help the perception. I can follow up with material. I can let them feel that's been well taken care of. This is the perception. You can always ask questions, and we talk about this in different pieces of what the courses we do here. Okay? Can you move to the second part of the first sheet, which is the product features?
It is the AWA.
Sorry?
On the left, AW.
Action, words, what happened. So which means the activities you do have no relation to what people will feel or will receive from you. Give you another example. How many of you here played at least one soccer game? That's right. What happened in the soccer game? What do you feel about it right now? You feel great. But what happens there? You basically have the ball and you basically bounce it. Did you win or lose? Okay.
Say I won and move on.
So this is exactly what happened. Like people will get involved in an accident, and come there, I involved with this accident with this guy, and this guy was nasty. Sorry, the accident is between 2 cars. So why did you retain after the accident that the other driver was nasty? So the most outrageous things will happen outside of norm is what people will keep. So if you are on the stage and you give an awkward or a unique joke or something out of norm, this is what people retain. Okay? So let's just talk about the second part. So the idea is when you meet somebody, you will talk about the product benefits first. And then you will talk about the features. The features are assembled to be 7 basic features, 3 adds-on, 3 extras, and 3 bonuses. So can you write down at least 3 features within any classification to what you offer? And if you need examples, let me know. So what do you offer people? Do you offer them do you give them workbook? Do you give them surveys? Do you give them 90 minutes training? Do you give them nutritional guide? What do you give people in? Do you give them, what is the features which people will pay you money for? Okay? So can you spend 5 minutes? And don't distinguish between adds-on, extra, and bonuses. These all are labels we can use. So the reason for having these 3 labels here is to let you just list as many as you can of features. So if you provide group training, you say, I will provide group training. If you provide one-on-one, number 2 will be one-on-one. If you provide books, e-books, you say, I provide books. If you provide infograph, you provide infograph. If you provide whatever you provide right now, and if you are in the planning phase, can you write what you plan to? And just put a P beside what you plan. And this is very valuable for the other side of the paper that we don't flip right now. And for individuals who have been done this before, they should just be able to summarize what they have been doing.
Yeah. Initially, that's all I have. Eventually, we went and built some CDs. On the thing, recording. Yeah, the first one. Do you have special programs for people over 7?
One of my oldest clients is 62 years old. She's a nurse. So yeah, there's definitely regressions for depending on your skill level and how long you've been training and stuff like that, right? So just like you were talking about before, it's all about catering to your specific client. So I realized that after training different levels of people, right? From her to my mom as well came to train with me. She had a double lung transplant 2 years ago. So like the things we have to do with her is very simple, completely different. And then I have a couple athletes that train with me as well, basketball player, another guy that plays professional ball. So completely different programs, depending on who it is, right?
That's important.
It is important, yeah.
I'm 74 and I had a triple bypass.
Okay.
So my training program would be to practice very fit my condition.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to get your heart rate up to a certain level. You have to have a heart rate up monitoring that and make sure that it's good very back as well.
Yeah.
Did you play to do exercise?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My capacity.
Yeah, of course.
My capacity. You're going to realize that's a hard thing when you get older and your capacity is reduced. And you follow a group of younger people, like for instance, climbing the buffalo jump at Edwardy Park. They're at the top and then they go halfway up and I just can't go any faster.
So what was your name again? What was your name again? Brian? Yeah, first.
Yeah,
It's a safe environment here, so that's
Yeah, I
why
know.
stop.
I just wanted to give you a heads up. I have a client at 11:30, so I do have to leave.
Shoot,
early,
no problem,
unfortunately.
no problem.
Okay, so if I just get up, then
No problem.
Those need to be clarified, because otherwise the price looks like I'm not.
Okay, so let's just go through the product features. And on the product features,
Check this out. Sorry, I'm just gonna. This is cinnamon toast. I toasted it this morning, and there's crabapple jelly.
This guy's spoiled for
Wow.
everything first.
This is this way. If I'm not here, you'll miss me.
Yes, I will.
So please go ahead.
okay, so let's just so go ahead, guys. But just I wanna be more conscious of the time. So we would like to talk about the features. So what are the features? Each one of these features must have a value. And you understand the difference between a value and the investment, which is bad people call it cost. I call it investment.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.